Welcome. I'm Debra at Eden Garden Center and Florist in Waukene, Kansas, and this is a DIY flower time tutorial. Make a bright summery vase with some miniature sunflowers. The first thing you always do is have your preserved water ready. It already has a preservative in it. You'll go ahead and add your greenery. It's the boring part, getting the greenery in there. I stripped off some of the bottom leaves so that you can use that sort of as a grid in the vase, and it helps to hold your flowers once you put your flowers in. Don't want to keep smacking those sunflowers either. So I think I'll turn that a little bit. Okay, so we're not going to use a ton of greenery because the flowers that I have are kind of big, so they'll utilize a lot of space. Plus I have 3 types of greenery that I'm going to be putting in. So I've got 4 stems of leatherleaf there. I've got, this is some tall myrtle. It's one that I've already cut on for a previous arrangement, so this piece is anyway. And remember, we can always stretch our greenery by cutting it in pieces and not using specifically the tall pieces only. Utilize the height. My focus when I put greenery in an arrangement is that it looks natural, which means every piece is not identical in size or shape or location. Doesn't have to be perfectly spaced. It's meant to look like a garden, in my opinion. So I've got some tree fern here. Remember to take off anything that's going to be below the water line. And the tree fern just adds a little bit of airiness to the arrangement. I'm going to put one more piece of tall myrtle in there to make it a little bit, give it a little bit more height. Kind of gives it a center. Okay, so there's our greenery. And I've got these amazing miniature sunflowers. They're just gorgeous. And I'm going to put 5 of them in this bouquet. Sunflowers go so well with greenery. It just can't go wrong. Now I'm going to leave this one a little bit taller. Now you can also wire the sunflowers. That will make them stand up a little bit longer. So I'll show you how that's done. Get yourself about a 20 gauge floral wire. You stick that up into the calyx of the sunflower, and you just casually wrap that around the flower so that you have some support for the stem. You don't want too much of that wire going into the water. So that just gives it a little bit of stability. And it will help in the future if the sunflower starts to fade, then you've got some support for the head, so it'll last a little bit longer. It's the beauty of it. I'm going to move that so that it's kind of, and then we have another one that's taller on the, one of the taller sunflowers on this side. So you've got your sunflowers in there. You notice they're not all the same height. They're not all the same, facing the same way. So you'll end up with an arrangement that you can view on all sides. The next thing I'm going to add are some miniature carnations. These are orange miniature carnations, but they have a hot pink tip to them. So they make them really vibrant. Orange and yellow always look pretty together, very summery, very bold colors. There are so many shades of color that you can have a bold yellow, you can have a mild yellow, or a light yellow, baby yellow, lemon yellow, golden yellow. And you can have the same thing with orange. Lots of different shades of orange. I love pixies or miniature carnations for their longevity and for the color selection. You can usually get them in pretty much any color you can think of. Purple, red, hot pink, light pink, burgundy, yellow, gold, orange, green, white. Okay, so I've got the yellow sunflowers and the orange pixie carnations. I just moved the sunflower that was leaning out a little bit just to give it a little bit more cohesiveness to the arrangement. And the last thing I'm going to use is called waxflower. Now waxflower is a great alternative to baby's breath, and it comes in many, many different colors. You can usually tie it into anything that you're doing. During the fall, which it is now, waxflower, you can find waxflower in orange and burgundy and all the different color, yellow. Normally when I buy waxflower, I have a selection of maybe white, purple, hot pink maybe, and lavender. But during the fall, we get choices. I don't know, I'm sure that they dye it, which we can get a lot of flowers that are already pre-dyed, which is nice. And they're dyed with a non-toxic dye, so it doesn't harm the flowers or reduce their longevity. Okay, so this one is a purple waxflower, which I believe goes really well with yellow since they're complementary colors. Our school colors here in Waukene, the high school is called Trigo Community High School, and their school colors are purple and gold. So I get to work with purple and yellow all the time. And because it looks so nice together, it's just a natural combination. Okay, so it looks like we are pretty much done with that. It would be just a nice table arrangement that you can use. And earlier I made a small bow, and so I'm going to go ahead and put a wire pick on that and use that for my arrangement. And it just gives it a finishing touch. Bows are not necessary, but there's sometimes something that you want to use to bring out a certain color in an arrangement. I tend to like bows because I believe they make the arrangement look like it's finished. So this is our sunflower table arrangement. I think I'll stick that waxflower in just a little bit more. And because these flowers are very fresh, you want to make sure to watch your water level, because they will drink water. They drink the most water within the first 24 hours because they're just freshly cut. So then just make sure you have plenty of preservative on hand. There are a lot of home remedies that people use for preservatives, sugar and aspirin, and I really don't know how well those work because I haven't used them. But I know that you can probably get an extra preservative packet from your florist if you'll ask. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. I'm Debra at Eden Garden Center and Florist in Waukene, Kansas, and this has been a DIY flower time tutorial. Feel free to check out our other tutorials and also to subscribe.